And welcome back to Hannity. So it's been a good number of weeks now for the Trump campaign. He is delivering a lot of policy messages. He is narrowing and winning in a lot of polls now. Joining us is Trump's new campaign manager, Kellyanne Conway. You know, the timing's been pretty good for you because he kind of took off as soon as you got on board. We've been friends a lot of years. I'm not surprised. He's on message. Let's see what we got here. We've got a poll that came out today. He's winning in 2 polls in Ohio. One he's up by 4, another he's up by 5. He's winning by 3 points in Florida. He has the LA Times, nearly a 5-point lead there as well. Bloomberg has him up 5 in Ohio, which I thought was pretty good numbers from him. He's winning in Colorado by 2 points, and he's winning 2 points in Nevada. He's winning in Iowa. All of these states are key. What has changed?
Well, what has changed is that I think people are seeing a real contrast between these 2 candidates, Sean. You see Mr. Trump out there every day delivering specific solutions, policy speeches, then meeting in small groups with folks. Every place that he goes, he'll be in about 7 swing states this week, doing 5 rallies, a number of different roundtables, in addition to the policy speeches like the one on child care last night with his daughter Ivanka outside of Philadelphia. Really remarkable content for a Republican nominee. And I think what's also changed is people see that there's a chance he can win, and people love to back a winner. I will note something for you, Sean. 3-4 weeks ago, every story out there on TV and in the papers and online was what? Look at the polls, the race is over. Look at the polls, the race is over. None of the journalists want to write polling stories now.
Yeah.
They'll say, oh, there's still time. She'll recover. Yeah, but guess what? People don't care. Sean, the biggest disconnect of this campaign is how people see this race and these 2 candidates and how these 2 candidates are being covered. But I'll bet with the people any day.
Here's what I see. I see that he's very focused. And look, Hillary Clinton, 19 days in August, didn't have a single rally. 19 days. Yeah. So she's kind of making Jeb Bush, who Trump called low energy, seem like the Energizer Bunny. But it's more than that. He seems focused. He's only talking about Obama's failed record, Hillary's failed record, and he's also giving significant, detailed policy speeches on ISIS, on immigration. He's going into black churches. He went down to Baton Rouge. He went to Mexico. These all seem to put him in a position to say, yeah, I've got the energy, the stamina, and the ideas to solve our problems.
And people know what they see, Sean. See, for all the conventional political methods, like the paid advertising that Hillary Clinton and her super PACs, over $200 million, spent already. But yet you can't cut through. People can't deny what they see. If they see her at the van at 9/11, they know what they see. Nobody needs to talk about it. Nobody needs to have conspiracies about it. They just know what they see. When they see Donald Trump in their cities, in their towns, meeting with veterans, sticking up for them after they're called deplorable in every name in the book. When they see Donald Trump unveiling child care plans, when they see him unveiling middle-class tax relief, it matters to them, and he's a leader. He's showing that he is who we all know he is, which is a leader. And the way that you convey to people is you bring the case directly to the voters where they live, and that's what he's doing. You
know, this is a choice election. We've been through a lot of elections together, but you want a president that can say radical Islam or one that won't? Do you want originalists like Scalia and Thomas on the Supreme Court, or more Sonia Sotomayor's and Justice Ginsburg's? Do you want to vet refugees or not vetting refugees and have a 550% increase? Do you want a wall, or do you want the bridge that Hillary wants on our border so anybody can walk in? Do you want to eliminate Obamacare, not eliminate Obamacare? You want to fire coal miners and put coal companies out of business, or do you want energy independence? You want education top down, or do you want it to go to the states? These are significant and profound differences between these 2 candidates. And there's still reluctance and resistance among the elites in the Republican Party, some of the establishment. What do you say to, if you haven't noticed, I'm fighting with every one of them right now, but what do you say to them?
I have a couple messages to them. First of all, the water is warm. Please come on in. We welcome you at any time. We are getting more calls.
You're so much nicer than me. You always have been.
Well, from elected officials, and we're getting calls from donors, and people are really excited. You see in these polls too, Sean, the enthusiasm gap is unmistakable. We have a double-digit enthusiasm gap over Hillary Clinton. And you know what's changed in these polls, Sean? likely voters. Many of these polls have shifted from the registered voter model to the likely voter model, and when you do that, you come upon more Trump voters because they're more enthusiastic and they're more willing to say so. So what I would say to the never Trumpers or the never happy, I would say to them, picture life under, and I'd say picture,
by the way,
well,
that's
what
as
would make
mean
them
as you
happy?
get. I'm a lot meaner. I say you own her if she wins, because you're sabotaging somebody who would put an originalist on the Supreme Court, who would get rid of Obamacare. So they make me a little more angry than you, but you've always been nicer.
And you know, for the elected officials, Sean, I have two questions for them. First of all, aren't you moved and just startled by what's happening in your own states by this Trump movement? Have you ever had these kinds of rallies when you run for office?
Really?
Have you had these crowds? Have you had the percentage of the vote that he gets in such a crowded field in your? So you know they're also disrespecting their own voters at this point. And the second thing I would ask them is, can you really close your eyes and feel comfortable in a world where Hillary Clinton has appointed Supreme Court justices
That's such a good point.
Taxed and regulated us?
Impact us for generations. All right, I'm running out of time. Real quick. I know he wasn't supposed to, but he went on Dr. Oz and revealed that he's in good health. And how's the debate prep going? Can you answer those two questions?
Oh, boy, sure, those are related. Yes and yes. Great and great. So Dr. Oz had an opportunity as a medical professional to review the report, I suppose, or some of the numbers that Mr. Trump's doctor had revealed, and he said he's in great health, and then he also, you know, ribbed him a little bit about how he's in great health, but he loves fast food, and Mr. Trump said what many Americans said, which is, I like that I know what I'm getting.
He gave me a bucket of Kentucky Fried Chicken
one night. And I enjoy it. That's right.
I paid for it,
but they had a great
though.
Conversation. People can watch the show. It'll air tomorrow on Dr. Oz. They had a fabulous conversation, really wide-reaching conversation about many issues concerning health. Ivanka, his daughter, was there to talk about the child care policy and why it's so important. And so I think people will enjoy that. And look, there's no question that those of us who are non-medical professionals, Sean, can talk about stamina and energy and the punishing schedule and rigors of a campaign, and frankly, the rigors of being president. And if you look at the Morning Consult poll that was released today, 50% of Americans told those pollsters they think Hillary Clinton has lied about her health to the public, and 44%.
You can't believe
and 44%, Sean, that's right. 44% in that poll, though, said that they think her health may affect her ability to be president. Read the poll, Morning Consult.
I saw it. Last question. I think Hillary can't run on Obama's economic record, which she says she'll continue. She can't run on foreign policy, which is a disaster. So I think her debate prep is this: how can I aggravate, agitate, irritate, upset, piss off Donald Trump in the debate and make him bubble and fizz like Alka-Seltzer in water? My question to you, will he have built up an impenetrable shield, know that's her strategy, and not let her get that rise out of him?
Absolutely. And look at the Commander-in-Chief forum from 1 week ago on NBC, Sean, where she could not take those questions from Matt Lauer, very fair questions about her email server, about her vote in Iraq. That veteran who stood up and said, if I did what you did, I'd be in jail. Why aren't you in jail? He was unflappable. Donald Trump was unflappable, and Hillary was all flustered.
That's a good point. I think he's in her head. You're right.
You know, but I think he's in her head, and she certainly is not in his head, I assure you.
All right, I got to roll.
And in debate prep, you know, he is who he is. He knows all these issues. He's enjoying the conversations we're having. We don't need anybody to play the role of Hillary Clinton. We're all very versed in Hillary Clinton.
All right, Kellyanne, great job. Good to see you. Polls are encouraging.